ASMR video. Today I'm going to be building a pedal board. Before y'all come at me for this being like a weird build, it is a weird build. These pedals that I have in front of me are just kind of pedals that I don't have an immediate use for, but I like them too much to want to sell them, and I thought, why not make a simple pedal board? I don't mean to brag, but one of my old builds, my pedal board builds, got featured on a pedal board of the day on Instagram, and I've taken a lot of notes from the rig doctor himself, and I feel like I can put together a pretty decent board that's clean and efficient. So, to get started, on the table in front of me, I'll run down the pedals that I do have that I'm going to put in the chain, starting with the bass mono synth by Electro Harmonics. I'll bring you in right now so I can talk about this pedal. Here is the Electro Harmonics bass mono synth. So, the reason it says bass mono synth is, you guessed it, it is a mono signal. It only processes a mono signal well. Obviously, if you play a chord on the bass, it'll come through, but it's not gonna sound like the synth it's wanting to portray or emulate. It works best when you just play one note at a time, kind of like, walking bass line or a funky bass line. Next, I have probably my favorite pedal of all time, or at least my favorite niche pedal of all time. This is the Solid Gold Effects Super Funk. This Super Funk pedal is an envelope bi-filter. This envelope filter is, like I said, one of my absolute favorite pedals. The reason for that is because it just works for bass and guitar. If I put the knobs all at 12 o'clock, you already have a solid tone with that as it is. This is probably one of the more expensive pedals I have, and it works, like I said, for bass, it works for guitar. It's awesome. I've tried the MXR envelope filter, and I'm not a huge fan of that one. I feel like it's very hard to use, it has so many knobs. And like I said, this one, it just works. Okay, moving on. I have the DC Electronic Ditto Looper ×2. Oh, that's a very bassy tapping pedal. I think it's because I have the 9-volt inside the pedal, so it's kind of heavy, but it's more dense, so it's giving that thicker sound. Maybe there's just a bunch of electronics in it because it is a stereo pedal, or it can work with stereo, so I'm sure there's more going on inside. Cool, this one is just a standard looper. It works. Loopers kind of confuse me. I've never is a super cool one. It is the Dark Glass Electronics B7K, Microtubes B7K 10th Anniversary Edition. It came with a really nice, like, wooden box. That's probably the absolute best presentation I've ever got with a pedal. Okay, cool. I have, for the board, it is this $30 Amazon single row board. There's nothing insanely special about it. Personally, I feel like spending a lot of money on a board is kind of a waste of money. The reason for that is because the only boards I've ever bought are like $30, $40, $50 Amazon boards, and they've worked fine. I've had no issues with them, like bending or breaking. I haven't like done a major run of shows with any of the boards, but I have used them live, and they're fine. They hold up. The board they got featured in Pedalboard of the Day. It was actually a like $40 Amazon board. So I just made the wood kind of it's kind of like a case that slips onto the edges. It was like fit real tight, but I made that out of some scrap wood, stained it, and the board itself was just a cheap board from Amazon. I have some Velcro that came with the small pedal board from Amazon. It also came with a case, but I don't need that right now. I have a the EPS patch cables. When people put that hand up, I always think of like the old school YouTube, but I mean, it's just because my camera focuses on your face, so when you block your face, it kind of will focus on something else, so that's kind of the trick, I guess. But yes, EPS patch cables. Since I'm not doing anything super elaborate, I don't need a power supply. I think it'll be quiet enough, especially, like I said, this is kind of just a jam at home. I also have a lot of patch cables. These are all rockboard cable with one EPS floating in here somewhere. I think rockboard is just the best bang for your buck. They've never crapped out on me. They are super flat. My bad. They are super flat tips, so they will fit up and make your board look super neat. I really like that sound of like all the ends kind of ruffling around. Okay, cool. I have a lighter and some tape. I'll kind of get into that later. I like to use the 3M green painter's tape to put the Velcro on the back of my pedals. As you can maybe see here, yeah, I think there you go. I put the blue 3M painter's tape on the pedal, and then I put some dual lock on there just so I don't ruin the pedal, especially when I'm working with more expensive pedals like the Solid Gold Effects and the Dark Glass B7K 10th Anniversary Edition. That's a mouthful. But yeah, I don't like to kind of mess up the pedals, and if I want to sell them or just to preserve the pedal itself and not, rip off Velcro, because they get pretty sticky. And I like to heat up the Velcro and tape before I stick it on the board or the pedals, because I feel like it maybe loosens up the adhesive more. Who knows if that's that's true or not, but I like to do it. I also have some zip ties and some, what are these called? I forgot what they're called. Mounting bases for the zip ties. They're kind of just like little squares. It's mainly for making the assembly for the wires, the patchwork wires and cables and power supply cables, or power cord cables, daisy chain cables. To keep them neat under the board so they're not all out everywhere, looking ugly and making the board not so aesthetic. I really like this sound too. Alright, so let's get to building the actual pedal board. I'll actually bring you closer and kind of give you a top-down angle so you can see this a little bit more. Okay, so you can't see my face anymore, but you can definitely see all the components on the table. So I'm gonna get working on the pedal board and kind of just think out loud while I'm doing it. So, like I said, I kind of already put, if that'll focus, I've put the dual lock and tape on the backs already, so I don't need to do that, but all I would do is cut a piece of tape, cut a piece of dual lock, stick it on, and do the lighter on the back. So I will be using this right here, the soft piece of the Velcro to stick to the dual lock. Cool. And now I'm just gonna do a simple two-piece across right here, top and bottom. So I'm just gonna do something like that. So these Velcros came with the board itself. Cool. I have the microphone right off camera. Maybe I should put it in the shot, but who knows? I'll leave it for right now. But yeah, so this is the back of the Velcro, and I'll just kind of get the lighter. Hope you cannot see that. Okay, I'm back here, but kind of just get the lighter and go all the way down the piece of Velcro. Cool. And now I will stick it to the board. Try to get it as centered as possible. Okay, let's try that again. Right there. Cool. One side done. Gonna do the other one. Okay. That was my worst fear, is sticking that while I was unpeeling it. Again, gonna get the lighter and kind of bake the back some Velcro on it. It is ready to go. So now what I will do is kind of start building the pedal board from one pedal to the next. So this will be my chain. So I'm going to flip it towards me. And I'm going to start with the bass. Hold on, that autofocus. That bass synth. And my goal for this, I don't even know if I said it, is kind of like a pop funk bass pedal board, I guess. So I totally forgot, I'm back from my quick pause, but pedals, dummy, right? Go from right to left instead of left to right, it always throws me off. But anyways, back to business. Route it out the back, plug it in on the back there, and we continue on. Gonna get the cable. Yeah, this one will do. I'm gonna run it out the output and put the next one in line, which is gonna be the solid gold effects pedal. This will be the next one in line. So I'm just gonna put it right up against this mono bass synth. Bam. Just like that. Sorry, it's upside down. And I'm going to route this next DC port through the back and plug it into the pedal. I'm also going to grab the rock board patch cable and run it through the back as well. Actually, let me do the patch cable first because it is a little bit thicker. You do kind of have to shove these in there. Give me a second. Okay, I got it. So that's how it looks on the bottom. Continuing on, I am going to put in the Ditto looper. And since these don't have any outputs or inputs on these sides, I'm just going to stick it right up against the pedal, the other pedal, with a little bit of room. I want to make sure I still have room for this guy. Yep, perfect. So, since this is very packed in the back, I am going to have to run this guy out of here. Output. DC supply. Actually, let's do this. I think I see a better solution here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna get one of these shorter patch cables, run out of the solid gold effects and straight into the looper. And now I'm gonna get another medium-sized patch cable and run that out of there and out of this mono input. Yeah, mono input. Gonna run the DC volt power supply through and plug it in just like that. So this is more or less what we got, what we're working with right now. Just like that. And now I'm on to the last pedal, the microtubes, the dark glass microtubes, all black. Honestly, I like it. It looks sick, but I get confused with the symbols because it doesn't tell you like high, mid, low, mid. And honestly, like I'm not a fanboy enough to really understand what's what. So I always have to just fidget with it until something works. But I'm gonna go into the input, and the power is on the side, so I'm gonna route that through I just need to clean up the bottom and we're done here. So I will give you a different camera angle and we'll finish this up. Okay, we are back and now we are working on cleaning up the back, which shouldn't take too long. So usually what I like to do is kind of bend the cables and see which way that they tend to want to bend, and a way that makes sense to making everything efficient. I'm not pulling on anything. So I'm going to get out some black zip ties, and I'm going to get out some mounts, some zip tie mounts. Perfect. Now this isn't meant to be super pretty, but at the same time, yes it is. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time and kind of figure it out, but at the same time, like I said, not go too crazy with it. I've seen pedal boards where you can kind of just stick them like all in a row. If you have a billion of these, they just stick every like little bit of the pedal, which maybe I'll do it for this. I don't know. I'm kind of just vibing out right now. So I have two stuck down, and I'm gonna look for the zip tie and kind of line it up right here. And like again, make sure I'm not pulling on anything. Kind of make sure everything is okay with that position, and I'll zip tie it together. Cool. Next tie I will get to, actually, that's pretty tight, so I'm not gonna mess with the patch cable from the dark glass. I'm just gonna run it underneath and get the daisy chain and the patch cable coming from the looper. That side of it, it's still the same patch cable, but let's see. Okay, this is kind of a hard angle, but I'm gonna get it. There we go. Cool. And of course I put it backwards, just like the pedal in the beginning. Okay. Finally got it through. Awesome. Now I am just kind of moving along with the mounts. Okay, let's get those two in. Cool, so far I got 4, let's see if it'll focus. There we go. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for, just something clean. And yes, I'm gonna trim the zip ties, but that is how it's looking right now. Let's see, I can actually prop it up with the tape, but maybe you can get a better visual of it. It's up here. Maybe, let me see. Nah, yeah, it's gonna have to be just kind of like that. Okay. Let me focus. Make sure that it's focused. Okay, cool. Moving on. More mounts. Let's do this right here, yeah. Okay. more zip ties. Let me know if this is dark. Let me. Okay, that might be a little bit better, a little easier to see. Let me just continue tying these down. Sometimes it might be nice to have like some tweezers to like grab the zip ties when they are in awkward, very awkward positions like this one is right here. Luckily I have skinny fingers, so it's not too bad to reach a lot of these weird angles. Some of them can be though, can be bad. So I'll need 3 more zip ties, and I can call it with this pedalboard. This is one with an awkward angle, and I'm making sure I'm not putting the zip tie in wrong at this time. Okay, there you go. Okay, 2 more. Okay, and there are all the zip ties underneath. Oh my gosh, this focus is not working with me today. There we go. So, yeah, these are all the zip ties. I need to cut them. Usually I have like wire cutters, but today I'm just going to use some scissors and cut these all out. And there we go, the pedalboard is done. I will make sure to get some nice shots. Oh, and then this, you know, you can kind of just put it wherever. And this is the input for the power. But yeah, I'll worry about that later. This is what the finished product looks like on top and underneath. But yeah, let me get some nice shots for you while I clean up. Okay, and that concludes the pedalboard build here today. I think it was a success. Everything looks nice and clean, front and on the back. joining me today, and have a great day or night wherever you are. Thanks for joining me on building this pedal board and putting it together. Have a great night.